People needs to be empowered in these circles. Number one, we need to educate our young citizenry. And the UPND have introduced a free education policy, which I think must be commended, except the only missing link is that we must make it free education by its true meaning. Free education means that me as a parent, I am paying or spending nothing on the education of my child. What we have now is nowhere close to free education, because in fact today, our parents are paying more than they used to pay back in the days, or they used to spend back in the days. Don't look at it from a point of how much we are spending going to school. Look at it from how much we are spending as parents to take our children to school. That's what free education means. Back in the days when there used to be free education, your child would get the books from school, from government. Your child would get the bags, the shoes, and the uniforms from the school. It meant, therefore, the parent would spend nothing towards the education of the child. That is what free education means. And for me, I think that we need to build up from where the UPND have left, make it now ideally free education. You also improve on the learning environment, because what we have now is 200 children sitting in one classroom, na teacher umo. The quality of your education is completely compromised. We are not blaming them. They've done what they could, but we can then improve on it. So part of the policies we must, focus on is education. Educating your children from kindergarten all the way to the tertiary institution. Right now, children are falling out of school at grade 12. They finish grade 12, it ends there because they do not have an opportunity to go to a tertiary institution, either a college or the university. Like I said, there are limited places or chances for a child to go to university and get sponsored by government. I think we need to improve that to ensure that every child who wants to go to the university gets sponsored by government. And that is what I think we will do. For me, that's what we promised to do when we are in charge of the affairs of this country. We'll make it free. Of course, not free for, in the university, because they will have to pay. It's a loaning arrangement. They get educated through a loan arrangement, and they are paid, of course, using flexible terms. When you educate your young people, the next thing is let's create opportunities for them to survive beyond school. So the opportunities are in two folds. Number one, there are those who are talented. They don't need to be given a white-collar job. It means, therefore, for the talent, let's build policies that promote and support talent. As an example, I went to Parliament and beckoned my friends that we need to create a film fund. When you put together a film fund, even you guys here can benefit from that fund to enhance what you are doing here. We can, the film industry is so huge. We have seen the Nollywood, the Bollywood, the Hollywood, how much revenue is, generated from there, how many millionaires have been built from that industry, and the spillover is great. The tourism industry, as an example, do you know that you dream of going to Hollywood because of what you see in the movies? So movies are a perfect tourism marketing. Okay, so when you build a tourism industry, you would have also built the other associated industries. So those who are talented in sport, those who are talented in recreational stuff, acting and otherwise, music, must be supported. So must be policies that supports those who are talented. But there also must be opportunity created for those who wants to get jobs. As an example, I mentioned that for us to create jobs, I have this in mind, which is part of our agenda as a movement for good governance. Creating jobs is easier. Imagine today government pronounces that we're going to have a 24-hour economy, at least in all the cities. We have 5 cities now, right? When you have a 24-hour economy, it means that you're going to double the number of employment in Lusaka, because there are going to be 2 shifts. So if you have 8,000 working in retail shops, on gas station and Pashala, it means that for a 24-hour economy, there'll also be others that needs to work in the next shift. So if you have 20,000 jobs, it means that you are going to create another 20,000 jobs for the next shift. So part of what we think is that a 24-hour economy will create opportunities in the security sector, in the transport sector, in the retail sector, and the like. When you create empowerment hubs, which is part of our promise to the people of Zambia, we're going to create empowerment hubs, as opposed to these empowerment programs by UPND have, where people are just dipping in. There's no system. Umuntu kuti afuma apoka empowerment ku youth empowerment, aya kuli village banking apoka aya kuisa. So one person can actually be empowered across all manner of empowerment programs. Here we are talking about empowerments that are structured. So we are talking about establishing empowerment hubs in all regions or provinces, which also comes with mentorship programs, because it's folly for you to empower people that have not been properly cultured or now or coached on how they can go about doing business. The accelerated industrial program is a big thing for me, because what we need now is to add value to our resources, our agricultural producers. There's no way Zambia can be exporting maize.
It looks like Honorable is campaigning currently.
No.
It's talking about the Icha movement.
It looks like Honorable is campaigning currently.
So I'm basically saying part of the policies we must have are things that give you results instantly. You must stop the export of our raw materials. Maize, as an example, how do you export your maize? Add value to your maize, because when you process the maize, mwalafuma obunga, mwalafuma na gaga. Waishwa gaga yo. Wakulile kuchingwa yo. So it takes, I'll tell you that there's power in these policies if you have the right policies. If today President was to pronounce that we are going to now have a 24-hour economy, if the President was going to say, I'm now banning all export of unprocessed minerals, if the President was going to say, I'm banning the export of our agricultural product until we add value, the results would be unimaginable, because you are then going to create opportunities for jobs and the likes. So those are some of the things that we envision should be done, in creating opportunities for those who are talented, creating opportunities for those who goes through school. So education and employment opportunities are number one, policies we must put there.